The lyrics are, "Shorty, let down your hair, take a sip, go and put this joint." No.
I'm like, what lyrics you talk about that describe this moment? Because he's describing a whole nother act.
Yeah, right. That's the honeymoon.
Oh, that's the honeymoon.
That's the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Let's pray and burn sage and ask God. Let this be so. I love him.
I put people on contracts.
What the contract consists of?
Big boy, the whole thing. You gotta go. No, I'm joking, but
forget that dude. Forget that. And then he called, and I'm like, wait, shh. Be on the phone.
Put your weird voice on. Yeah.
No.
That was you. What? First of all, I don't do that.
Hey, babe.
And then you do the side tilt head thing.
Wow. Bro, Christina, whatever, yo.
You definitely change your voice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited because I have there are 3 of them, because I heard somebody in my or I read in my comments that you like, how many best friends you got? I got 3 best friends. And this is 2 of them. So y'all met Lena already, and this is the one and only Christina. Say what up, Chrissy.
Yeah.
So they are gonna come up here and give y'all the super duper real tea about tea. I picked my friends to come up here, and we're gonna talk about relationships and whether or not they think I'm actually gonna get L down the aisle. So first, y'all want to just kind of talk about where y'all are in your own relationships, and then we can kind of segue into something more serious.
Sure. So I am single. Hey, holla at me. But and yeah, so I have no obligations to anyone and no future with anyone right now. So, but yeah, it's really fun.
All right. I'm married. I've been married for 3 years now. Had to count. Yes, this year is 3 years. All is well. Still learning. Still new. And maybe family planning. I don't know. Still on the fence.
Maybe. Okay, so y'all know my deal. Last time I checked, I was in a relationship. So we'll know in 10 days, right? Whether or not it worked out. So I think I've done a very good job at painting L in a decent light. But one of the things I want to explore are some of the things that he probably needs me to be that I don't know if I can be. So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is submission, right? So Elle and I talk quite a deal about him coming up from a Southern family, and like his grandmama at home taking care of his grandfather, cooking, cleaning, whatever. And I think I may or may not have hinted that I could be that person, which I think.
Well, wait, hold on. So the question is, can you be like his grandma?
What, yo?
What? No.
Not his grandma, but like his grandma.
Oh, I don't know if you could be like the grandma, yo. I don't know, man. I first have to see how the grandma is, and then all right, you gotta ask a different question.
No, shut up. Christina, do you think I could be grandmotherly?
I do. Not in all the ways, probably like his grandma, but yeah, in some ways you could.
I could make cornbread now.
Make cornbread.
So I think his grandma is like, she get up, 4:00 in the morning. She still live on a farm. Yo, do y'all know he want to live on a farm?
Oh, that's nice. I don't know. Somebody like me, I'm okay with that, but I'm not getting up 4:00 in the morning. So I'm like, no.
Yeah. Can I live on a farm though?
Mm-mm.
I don't
The smell
know.
alone, you would be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think it would be hard for you to do that. I think you could adjust, but I think he would definitely have to make some little tweaks to this plan of being like his grandmother, or just having carrying on a tradition like that. There would have to be some modifications to that.
He is far more compromising than I ever am.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is, fine. All right, well, fine. So I don't know as a person if I have the ability to compromise for real.
Yeah, you do. Everybody does. I think. Yeah, you do. I think you do.
I think it's going to take some time. You know, as you start, everybody has to reflect on themselves. And I think you do a good job at reflecting, but only after a few people tell you how you are. You know, you may not know. If I say something about you, like, yo, Tiki, yeah, that's not good. You don't listen to what I just said until Christina tells you. Then your mom got to tell you. And then maybe your sister got to tell you. And so then Jean.
90 people later.
Comes along and it's like, dang, oh yeah, you was right, Lena. Dang, I do be wildin'. And it's like, you know, so
I don't do that.
Did I make that up?
I feel like you did.
No, you do that.
No. Christina, do I do this?
Well, I feel like you're receptive for the most part. And sometimes you're like,
my bad.
Oh, well, I'm just the way I am, you know? But
in all fairness, I feel like I do sometimes have to say, yo, Christina, I'm going to tell you this. And then after I tell you, I'll be like, yeah, yo, I told Lena the same thing. So I do, in all fairness, I probably do, but I just think that's just being analytical. Not receptive.
But I think as far as compromising, you will be able to do that, but it has to be after you're ready to compromise. So you might be a little bit stubborn with whatever his plans is. Because
I might be stubborn.
Yeah, you're stubborn.
But I think when it comes to relationships and compromise, it's easier. It's one of those things that's easier to do sometimes than it seems when you approach it, because when you see what someone's willing to do for you, you're really kind of more open to it, and you have to reflect on that sometimes and say, well, he ain't really comfortable with this, but he did it for me and it turned out to be fine and it was okay for him. I can at least try this one thing. I can at least dibble dabble in it a little bit, or, you know, and you realize sometimes things ain't as big of a deal as you made it. And that's where you become more open to compromising when you figure out how far you can push yourself to change a little bit.
So
why are you looking like that?
I feel like, do I need to really change? I think that I'm a gift, and
oh my goodness, but there's always room for change. And when you love somebody, you want to make it work in healthy ways, of course. I mean, don't change just because somebody wants you to look a certain way. But, you know, when it's healthy and you realize, why am I holding on to the things I'm holding on to? It may have served you as a single person, but now you're a unit and you guys may not fit, you know?
Specific things that I want to change about me, that he actually likes. So he like, nah, don't do that. And I'm like, but I want to do that. And so I feel like ultimately, and this is, I guess, overall, in a relationship that I think may require a little compromising, I overall feel like my happiness is the most important.
It is. It depends on what it is. I think when it comes to body image and stuff like that, that really should come from you. you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's outside of body image, if it's, I don't know.
Y'all, that time when I said nothing about my body and she knew what I was talking about.
There go that bang.
Like, what's your thought? What you think? You change what you want to change regardless of what your partner says?
I would take in consideration. So if like one day I decide I want to cut all of my hair off, and this is something I'm determined to do because I just don't feel like taking care of my hair anymore, and it's just going to be better for me overall, for my daily life. But the man I'm with says, no, I love your long hair, and just rants and raves about it, I would consider not doing it just because of how much he loves my long hair.
Okay.
I would too. I'm frightened.
Yo, first of all, I know you friend because let me tell you something. When you had your hair in you had your hair some way, and he was like, oh, I love that about you. And he was like, oh, I can't wait to the next time I see him, I'm gonna do this hairstyle. And I was like, look at you.
Look at me, yo. Look at me.
Look at you.
Each of y'all individually gonna answer this. I'm gonna put y'all on speaker view. Question 1. Do y'all think, first of all, let me hear your views on my L relationship. Like us as a unit, not like the logistics of it, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Right. So who going first?
Christina could go first.
Ooh, Christina look like she didn't even want to go first.
That's fine. I think y'all are gonna do well. I think as a unit, you're more alike than anything. The way y'all view the world, the way you love each other, and your opinion on most things is pretty similar, which is key. I think I don't believe in opposites attract. I think people who have things, I think I've read that people who have more things in common actually work better. And so I think that you do have more in common. And I mean, you've known each other for so long. There's that comfortable aspect. And I think you'll do fine. I think as a unit, you guys are pretty good. And I think you're more flexible with him specifically than you think. A lot more flexible.
With him than people in general?
Huh?
You think that I'm more flexible with him than people in general?
Yeah. And when it comes to compromise, I think, you know, you're headstrong, you're independent, and you're worried about certain things in the relationship. But I think when it comes to it, it's going to be a little bit more natural because of how much love you have. You know?
Yeah.
That give and take is going to come a little easier.
Lynn, what you think about this guy?
Well, I feel like you should know that I really enjoy this relationship that you're in. I do. And, you know, he's like my brother at this point, because I feel like he introduces you to things that maybe another person you wouldn't be willing to be introduced to. So you allow him.
Like crack rock?
And a wicked jump shot?
You know. Come on now, you gonna say crack rock?
I mean, he be knowing about stuff.
Yeah, he just knows about topics, puts you on to topics that maybe someone else you would just dismiss. So you're really receptive to his life, because his life is totally different from your life. So even though your lives are totally different, y'all do have those some type of common ground with intelligence and just you learning from him learning from you, and that is where y'all are bonding. So I think that as that you get over the little hurdles of what you don't understand about him and what he doesn't understand about you, and then that's when y'all get better and better. So I do think this is a good thing. I really like that some of the things that he's into, I'd be like, yeah, TT, yeah, I like that.
You know, for my viewers, you guys think that's a beautiful thing, but it could be quite questionable.
Yeah.
You think that he's forever, and if you do or don't, it doesn't matter which in Geron, y'all think I'm gonna be, if he's not forever, do y'all think I'm gonna be able to walk away from this?
I have to answer that, honestly, I'm just gonna go off of my own views of forever, and I don't know if anything lasts forever. I don't know if anything lasts forever. I mean, I don't know.
I was hoping if not him, somebody.
It's hard to say. Like, I would want that for you. Like, I would want that. Do I see that as far as where it's going? Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. It's just, that's such a long time. It's a long time. And I feel like with you, and if you're able to compromise, if you're able to adjust to how he is and he's adjusting to you, I feel like y'all can make it work into old age.
Clarify my question. Do you think, though, I get forever with him specifically, or do you think there's someone else?
It might be someone else. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Listen.
You don't think?
I don't know.
You don't think I'm gonna marry him?
I feel like.
Do you think I'm supposed to marry him?
Do I think you're supposed to marry him?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you no more.
That's a heavy question. How we supposed to know?
Yeah, like, I
don't know. Bro. Y'all think, but I'm just saying, knowing what y'all know about my relationship and our interactions, do you think that there is somebody else out there for me that would be better for me?
You know, I'm trying not to be cynical, but my views on dating these days, if you found somebody, girl, keep him. If you don't have him on this page, because you're going to be out there going in circles. I don't know, but
No, that's true though, because it's like, you're gonna, if this is not the one, I can't answer that if this is the one for you. I feel like he is, but if he's not the one, you're going to spend a few years trying to know someone else on the same type of level, and then it's gonna be like, is this the one now? And you never really know. You really never know. It's like a leap of faith that you're just jumping into.
And I'm the one for him.
I don't know him on the level you know him, but I do. I really do.
And later, like,
Do I think you're the one for him? I think you make him better. I think you make him better. Like, when you say the one for him, you mean like his forever?
Yeah. I mean, because it's great that he can have all of these attributes for me, and then I could be not measuring up to really what he needs.
Put his needs out there like that, where it's understandable for me. Because I think when you talk, or when y'all are dealing with each other, it almost like he is very compromising for you. So he just does whatever you say, so that it doesn't have to be a problem.
That might be situational though.
It could be situational, but then again, that's the way you portray him. So that's the way I perceive him to be. Is just like, he kind of, I don't know what his needs are, or what his wants are. It just seems like right now, this is the best thing that happened to him. You are the best thing that has happened to him.
Well, yeah, I think with our relationship as it is, and I mean, you guys could feel free to disagree, I don't know that even I know really what he needs, because I think in both of our eyes, we can agree that I am really extending myself in this relationship, or I'm really taking on a heavy burden. And so just with all of the distance, like putting on this heavy burden that is absolutely from his end, that I don't even know if he's necessarily being as open to what he might want. He is very vocal about everything. Like, he's pretty vocal, I think.
I think he is your forever. He could be. But I think the things that you're worried about in the long run that may not present itself now because of the situation, is kind of part of life. And I think this is what makes long-term relationships hard, because what if you just change, Yeah. Over time, you may slowly transition into a different person. We go through different phases of life. And I think our partners have to adjust to that. And I think that's where friction rises with people. They're like, yo, you're not who I met. That's not who I met. I liked you like that. And now you're just different. We can't connect the same. A lot of people, they change and it works for their relationship. But you should always be presenting your needs. So if he says whatever you're doing isn't working for him, I think the core of why it isn't working and what it does, like if it really hurts his feelings, how you communicate to him, that's important to him, Yeah. And maybe you should look at whatever it is he's saying that you're doing that's hurtful. But if it's something like, I hate the way you yawn, because you do get like that. Some, we all get like that. We're like, oh, why are you breathing like that? That's stupid. Like, yeah, that's not a big deal. But some stuff, people communicate over time with the way that they change themselves, and they're just advocating for themselves differently as they change too.
Just letting things happen as they happen and being committed to being compromising when it does. So in the event God says, I already told you, nah, he not the one. I remember the piece of the prophecy that said, I'm not saying that you won't marry him. I'm saying that he's not your husband. And so I want to be really careful not to just do it because I can. What's the probability in your prediction that I will actually walk away if God really tells me don't do it?
The probability for me, I feel like it's really 50-50. And what? I feel like
50-50. It's only two options.
Yeah, right. There is only two options, right? But
you either go.
I don't know.
I want you to think about me and think about, do I have the willpower to look this man in the face if he's proposing to me and say no?
No. I think you're going to go through. I think where you are today is how you stand, where you stand, and you're for it. Even if I think we had a conversation at one point where you were like, I don't want to move on and never know.
Yeah.
Never know what it could have been, should have been, and it may lead you back there. You just want to complete the story to know for sure. So I think
you want to know too, right? Y'all want to know too, right?
I do.
I'm very intrigued by this person that doesn't make me crazy, because y'all know people make me crazy.
Yeah. And I think that's a good sign that, somebody doesn't drive you nuts or annoy the heck out of you. That's very important.
That is. I think once the obstacles of the distance changes, you'll be able to really see how much this forever is, I feel like. So, I can say right now that I think this is a really good thing. I think this is your forever. And I feel like when you get over this hard obstacle, you're really going to know that, I'm going to either walk away or I'm not. And for me, I really feel like you could walk away and dismiss this whole thing. I really feel like you could.
You think I'm strong enough for that? Thank you.
I do think you are.
Oh my God.
Don't think to me. I think I would have to express to him, like, yo, I want to do this, but I do not believe that you are my forever. And I think that would end it for him. Overwhelmingly in our relationship, I think he has this stronger ability, like I said, to just kind of walk away from things. Like even now, if it was up to me, I would have called him 77 times by now. Mm-hmm. But he ain't calling me.
Yeah.
He's saying that his boy. He's so funny. Yeah, I be getting texts from his friends, y'all. Like, yo, how's she doing? Like, no, why you want to know how I'm doing? I'm doing great. Tell your boy, I'm doing great. But yeah, I think it would require him to kind of, and then again, I would fall into a heavy amount of heartbreak.
If you do want to walk away, you could do it. It just takes great strength and effort. And you're just going to have to stick to your guns and not be easily swayed, you know?
Right.
And even though he is a person that walks away, you say, you say what you want or who you are, he's like, okay, fine. I don't know. I think you might be that person for him where he might come back a little bit, where it's like, you sure?
Not for nothing. I don't want him if he won't. She was saying that I'm his kryptonite.
Yeah.
Right? That's what she was saying, basically.
Yeah, I was just saying you might be that person for him where he can't necessarily walk away like he can with other people.
You might be right. Because not for nothing. If he just let me walk away, then he was definitely not the one. Like,
I pull back on my decision. Like, if I tell you leave me alone, I do not want you to leave me alone. And so, so if he just listens, that ain't the one. Because no, don't leave me alone. Read my mind.
If I love you, you got to stalk me.
Yeah, word. Jump through my window. Break my house.
Bro, like I'm trying to leave. Flatten these tires. Hello. But hey, yo, that's only if y'all love you. Now, if I'm really trying to get away from you,
yeah, then
what happened to that boy? Because yo, I was thinking about those like men that cry at weddings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
I like these.
I do. So he best to cry.
Like, I just feel like for the GP, like, you know, my top, this is really ridiculous now. My top favorite thing in life, no, I want to say is the close three. It might be the top. Maybe I just don't want to think of myself in that light. One of my favorite things is to like smash on people, like stunt on everybody.
Yeah. I think that's your number one.
You think that's my number one? Yeah. This is my favorite. I love to stunt on them.
Yes.
So it's just like, yo, don't embarrass me at our wedding. Cry.
Yeah. Cry your heart out.
Like, I want your boys to be like, hey, yo, man up. Like, yes, like that.
Somebody pass him a tissue. He needs a tissue.
Hey, somebody got a tissue in there? Is there a Kleenex in the house? Like, I mean, because don't embarrass me and make people think you just, well, I look regular. I'm basic now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the most ratchet conversation you can have at the altar. Like, I'd be like, excuse me, Rev, 1 second. Hey, yo, you think I'm basic?
You're not crying. Why are you not crying?
Why?
He got to cry in rehearsal. He got to
cry in rehearsal.
Let's
so I know it's real.
At this thing. You know what I mean? At the rehearsal dinner, all that.
Yeah, everything.
We picking up a party. Let me see a drip drop.
Yeah.
Show me that this is real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it last.
It's okay, because I'm like, dang, my husband ain't cried.
I was at your wedding. He ain't cried.
He ain't cried, but he looked pleased. He looked quite pleased.
He was very pleased.
So I'm okay. I ain't cry either. So
nope. I cried at your wedding. Dang, I was.
Dang.
I think you sent me a video you recorded and you were like sniffling. I was like, were you crying?
Yeah,
but I think that really nervous.
Nika, who's not up here with us, that's my other friend. She was the number 3 to them. I cried at her wedding too, and I was in her wedding, so I ruined all those pictures.
Oh no.
It was embarrassing. It was just so beautiful. Her man didn't cry either. Is this really happening in real life, or is this just like a select handful of people that Instagram makes me think?
I think it's a selectful because I think like it goes viral because most people don't cry. So when you do capture that, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think I've seen a groom cry one time. Maybe one.
In real life?
Yeah. It was in a Brooklyn wedding. It was an older couple though. So I don't know. Maybe young people, they try to keep their composure so they don't get that captured. But it was an older couple and he was just like in tears. So
Like,
I think he
type of tears.
like not sniffling, just like in tears.
But I'm joking. I really don't sniffling. That's a bit much. It's like
that's a bit much. It's like, man, come on now.
Then I'm gonna think something else.
I think a lot of people, their nerves just get the best of them. Like you're in the moment, but it feels surreal. You're in front of a crowd of people, and sometimes it may be hard to probably tap into that romantic moment where you really feel the love in that kind of way. I hate to say it like that.
Wait a second, is that a thing? Do you not feel like all super romantic in that moment?
I'm introverted and I don't like large crowds, so no. I couldn't even look out at y'all. I just felt like shy and shaky and nervous. And I think he was the same way. We were shy, shaky, and nervous and just like, okay, what do you need me to do next? Okay, what do you need me to say next?
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I think like he doesn't shout at church. Because he like, yo, I don't need to perform for nobody. Because he's a G, right? So he can't.
Yeah.
I'm not performing for nobody. Out of here. So the probability of us getting some tears, I mean, I may have to ask for it. That might be
I don't know.
I don't want it if I gotta ask for it.
No, I think that's a good discussion. Like, do you think if I come down the aisle, I'll be so beautiful that you'll want to shed a tear? I think that's a good question to ask, just to see what he say. Like, I don't want him to answer for you to be like, to make you happy and say yeah, and if he's really not going to, like, are you really gonna? So then do it.
Because you said that, you better, or I'm gonna immediately.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Huh?
I said I'm gonna hold you to it. If you don't.
But I think the key to this is writing your own vows. When you're not writing your own vows, you're kind of reciting something. And I think that might kind of take away from you really getting tied into your own words. When you write it, it's coming from the heart. You're all poetic. Everything's a metaphor. And I think, seriously, so I think like when you see these viral videos, they're always writing their own vows. They're reciting their own stuff. And they're really choked up because in that moment of them, whenever they wrote it, that came from the heart. It came from deep within, and they're sharing it in front of everybody. They just get choked up. So I think you got to write your vows.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But sometimes the one that I'm talking about is the on site, like when you hit the aisle and like that, like you get tears. Yeah. But I would take tears at the vows if I get that really like, you know how a dude look at you when you look real good? Mm-hmm. Final thoughts, Elle and I. So you both think that we're going to make it. I think so too. Or I want to believe so. I don't know if we're going to make it.
I think you're going to make it. I think it'll be whatever you decide. It can go either way, but you got to give it your all no matter which way you go. So if you decide, nah, I'm going to end it, you got to set down some boundaries and make sure all on the same page with ending it. And if you move forward, you move forward.
Because friendship is off the table, right?
Huh?
Nah, no friendship. I do think that you will make it as a couple. I think that it's going to be a good thing if you do. As long as we keep this positive, like, I think it's positive. I don't see any negativity in it. And that's the best thing for the forever part, is that it stays positive, it keeps growing and getting better. Mm-hmm. And even if you're not willing to compromise some of the things that you don't want to compromise, he just has to understand that. Like, get it. He gotta get it. Okay, you're not all right, you're not gonna do that. So then let's move on.
Yo, I love how my friend in a relationship is like, yo, you gotta compromise. And my single friend like, forget that nigga. He don't want to. How soon should I tell him about this whole thing? Like the YouTube and the truth of the prophecy?
Yikes, not too soon. Not too soon, I don't think. I think, I don't know. I think there needs to be a little bit of discussions before. I don't know how you would present it to him, but I don't think he would be receptive to this.
He don't like?
I don't think he would like this at all.
I think I'm afraid because I feel like I was a bit dishonest.
With what?
Like with why we haven't been speaking all this time.
Oh. So you're trying to tell him as soon as possible?
I don't think that'll be an issue as much as you not telling him in the beginning, as much as the news itself. Oh. I don't think he's gonna focus on that. But I don't think it's good news for him, you know? So but I think he loves you to a point where he knows he has to respect whatever you decide, even if it's not.
I'm trying to put myself in his seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
For us, the three of us, it's like, okay, well, whatever you decide, he'll be receptive to it because he really don't have no choice. But if I was telling y'all, let's switch this around. Yo, I just got off the phone with L, and he told me that he not sure about us because he think it might be somebody else out there for him.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Yeah.
I feel like I would want to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, my boy, after all this time, you're not, what you mean somebody else? Nah, yo.
Right. Well, that's why I said, if you're going to be truly honest with this whole thing, he's not going to take it well. It's not going to be something that he would want to, I mean, as far as understands, I'm sure he would understand by the way you tell it to him. But like, to hear it, it's not a good thing for him.
There's no easy way to say that, right?
Yeah, it's no easy way to tell him about this whole, 3 months it's been almost. Mm-hmm. So there's not going to be an easy way to tell him about why y'all have been like this for 3 months. So.
Right. And then to expect him to still ride with me on the same level, knowing that I'm looking for something else. Hey, Sean, thanks for chatting up with me. So you guys have heard it directly from my friends. I am not as crazy as I seem, or maybe. They were very nice. They were much gracious. You should hear what they say about me behind y'all back. Gracious. Don't forget to subscribe. You got 10 more days, so I don't really know if it's worth it to subscribe or not.
Yeah, definitely.
You keep pushing our content. It's fine.
Yeah, subscribe so I can get this bread, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys have thoughts, if you want to chime in on the conversation, you can drop the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can see when the next content's coming up. Thank you, Chrissy.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks, Lena.
Bye. Bye, Christina.
So, guys, bye, Lena. And I love you much. God loves you most. Deuces.